Last week we discussed 10 things that make your home look cheap, so today I'm going to help you out by telling you 10 things that you can do to make your home look elegant, and we're going to get started. What's up everybody, and welcome back to All Things Knoxville with me, Ben Barredo, your local real estate pro and relocation expert for East Tennessee. On this channel I talk about Knoxville, Tennessee, East Tennessee, and what it is like to live here, things that you can do if you live here. Additionally, I talk about or give great tips to people thinking of buying, selling, or just homeowners in general. So if you like things like that, make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and come back for more. Okay, so last week we discussed 10 things that make your home look cheap. And I'm sure all of us, including me, have more than one thing on those lists that we could probably work on. At the end of the day, if you want to sell your home for big bucks, or if you just want to make a great impression on company, you should take these into consideration and consider doing them around your house. Get rid of the cheap things, and today implement some of these things that make your home look elegant. So let's jump into it with number one, and that is getting rid of clutter. Clutter makes any home look cheap. I don't care if it's $1 million property, 4,000 square feet with 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. If it's cluttered and packed to the gill with boxes and junk, it just looks cheap. It looks like a cheap rich person's house. So make sure to declutter the house. You want rooms to feel comfortable and inviting, but at the same time, you want them to be roomy and open. Last week we discussed dome or boob lights, okay? If you looked it up, you know what I'm talking about. But on top of that, one of the things you want to really look into is lighting. Lighting is extremely important to the feel and the comfort of a home, not only for your health, because the type of lighting you use and that you're exposed to on a daily basis can actually impact your vision as well as your brain. You also want to consider the way the light feels, because it accents a room and it gives a certain impression to the people in the room. We could make a whole video series on lighting, and I'm not really the guy to talk to about it because I don't know much about it other than trying to work with enough light to make my face show up clearly in a video. But if it's important to you, if it's something you want to look into, definitely do the research, because it will give you big bangs for your bucks. I mean, one of the things we discuss when we sell a home with our clients is lighting and getting lighting in a room. We work with stagers and photographers to make sure that light is perfect, but you don't have to do all that. Just Google it and do a little research and you'll be fine. Last week we discussed trendy, wall art really. But in general, I just want to discuss generic wall art. It's a very important thing. You just want to avoid it. So, where can you get good artwork to hang on your walls and not look like the everyday Joe that shops at Walmart and buys whatever looks cool on the shelf? And listen, you don't have to go to Target or a art gallery, I guess, to buy attractive and original wall art. I mean, you can go to Etsy and find small, up-and-coming artists selling artwork for really affordable. You can also just Google affordable wall art, and it will give you a ton of online places that you can buy art and have it shipped straight to your front door, and you can have it on your wall within a few days. Another thing that you want to do or avoid to make your house look more elegant is a lot of DIY furniture. We all love DIY projects. I even did a small stint of recycling wooden pallets into usable furniture for the house, shelves, tables. But the thing is, though they make great conversation pieces, if you have a room full of DIY furniture, it just looks like a house full of repurposed furniture, which doesn't add to elegance or originality, in fact, and it just makes the home look cheap. The next thing you want to look at in your home to make it look more elegant is decor. And the one thing you want to stay away from is trendy decor. What you want to do is stick to the classical decorations for your home that span time. I mean, trends are trends for a reason. They come and go. And you don't want something permanent in your home, or something expensive, or something that it's going to hard to get rid of, that's going to be out of style and outdated in 3, 4, 5 years. You want stuff that's going to be elegant and beautiful for forever. Last week we discussed shoe racks in the entryway. Today I just want to tell you to have a clean entryway in general. Look, an entryway is the first impression in your house. This is the first thing people are going to experience when they come into your home. And if you have a crowded entryway with jackets on the wall and a shoe rack and a table where you throw your keys, it can just be a little bit overwhelming when you walk in. Clear out the entryway, make it feel warm and welcoming. Nobody's home should feel like a museum, and everything should not be exactly matching. So add a little personality, and that is the next tip. Try to put some personality into the design, into the decor of your home. Try to find a piece or a style or an accent, something that expresses who you are, and try to put that in all the rooms of your house to add that personality. You just don't want to be that cat lady that has a cat art, cat trinkets on the shelves and cats all throughout the house. You want to, if you love cats, maybe have a cat clock in a room, have a cat figurine on a shelf in another room. Just don't get overboard and don't get crazy with it, because people are going to think you're probably a little crazy if you do something like that. Or at least obsessive, which, is a borderline crazy in a lot of ways. Okay, you've probably been in kitchens or not too long ago seen patterns called chevron patterns. If you're in the military, you know what a chevron pattern is. If not, it's basically half of a diamond or half of a square. A diamond is the easiest thing, but basically it's shaped like this. And in the military, we wear chevrons on our sleeves, but in your house they can make it look very strict and very uninviting. Avoid chevron patterns, especially, they used to be in style up until about 2017, but now they're just not popular anymore. People quickly learned that it's not attractive, no one likes it, and it just, it's very hard to look at. It's hard on your eyes, and it can, make you feel a little uneasy. So avoid chevron patterns whenever possible. Alright, so if you bought a house that was built in the 70s, 80s, 90s, then you probably have or had popcorn ceilings or textured ceilings. Hell, I've got them all over my house right now, and it's something that I really want to get rid of. I just got to get around to it. Popcorn ceilings, they were a cheap way for builders to finish off ceilings in a house. It was quick, easy, they could just spray it on and be done. But they did us all a disservice because of all things trendy, they are no longer in style, and for most people it's the first thing they want to go when they buy a home. Alright, the last thing that you want to think about to make your home look more elegant, you want to avoid buying these, and that is phrase art. What I'm talking about is the artwork that says something on your wall, whether it's live, love, laugh, or something along those lines, or just love, or home sweet home. You don't want those all throughout the house. I mean, maybe one is okay. It adds a little bit to the home, makes it feel a little more friendly, makes it feel more like a family home, but all in all, they do tend to lend towards the cheaper side. Alright, so if you're watching this video, then you probably saw last week's video, but if you haven't, make sure to check out last week's video where I talk about 10 things that make your home look cheap, and you can watch that by clicking here or following the link in the description and learn 10 other things that you need to do to avoid a cheap looking home. Alright everybody, that's it for today's video. I appreciate you stopping by and watching it. I hope you got something out of it. Make sure to tune in next week. I'm going to tell you about the 5 most popular cafes in Knoxville, and we're going to visit every single one of them. But until then, have a great week, and thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.